Elliptic Curve Cryptography, ECC. ECC is a type of encryption that uses discrete logarithms applied to elliptical curves. It is considered stronger per bit than normal discrete logarithms. Monolithic kernel. A monolithic kernel is a type of operating system kernel that runs as a single static executable and contains all the necessary functionality precompiled in. It runs in supervisor mode, or ring 0, and interfaces between the hardware and the operating system and applications. Graham-Dinning model. The Graham-Dinning model is a type of access control model that uses objects, subjects, and rules to define access rights. A subject can execute specific rules on an object: transfer access, grant access, delete access, read object, create object, destroy object, create subject, and destroy subject. Mandatory access control, MAC. MAC is a type of access control model that is system enforced and based on a subject's clearance and an object's labels. It is commonly used in government and military settings to ensure that data is only accessible to authorized personnel. Computer bus, a communication system that allows various components of a computer to communicate with each other and with external devices. Enigma, a type of encryption machine used by Germany during World War II. Graham-Dinning model, a model used in computer security to control access to resources. It uses objects, subjects, and rules to define access control policies. CO2 fire suppression, a fire suppression system that uses carbon dioxide gas to extinguish fires. It is typically used in areas where water-based fire suppression systems would damage equipment or sensitive materials. Salting, the practice of adding random data to a password before hashing it, to make it harder to crack. Rainbow tables, pre-computed tables used in password cracking attacks to quickly match plaintext passwords to their corresponding hash values. Key escrow, the practice of storing encryption keys with a third party, such as a government agency, for use in cases where the key holder is unavailable or unable to provide the key. IPsec, a set of protocols used to secure Internet traffic by providing authentication, integrity, confidentiality, and other security services. Hash collision, when two different inputs produce the same hash output, resulting in a collision. Symmetric algorithms, encryption algorithms that use the same key for both encryption and decryption. Encryption, the process of converting plaintext into ciphertext to protect it from unauthorized access. 3-day, triple day, a symmetric encryption algorithm that applies day encryption 3 times in sequence with different keys. Day, data encryption standard, a symmetric encryption algorithm developed in the 1970s that encrypts data in 64-bit blocks with a 56-bit key. Key mode 3, K3, a keying option for 3-day that uses the same key for all 3 rounds of encryption. Fire extinguisher, a device used to put out small fires by spraying a fire-suppressing agent. Pass method, a 4-step process for using a fire extinguisher that stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Data center, a facility used to store, manage, and process large amounts of data and computer systems. Humidity, the amount of water vapor in the air. RH, relative humidity, the ratio of the amount of water vapor present in the air at a given temperature to the maximum amount that the air could hold at that temperature. Static electricity, an imbalance of electric charges on or within a material that can cause a spark or discharge. Corrosion, the gradual deterioration of metal due to chemical reactions with its environment. Historical encryption, encryption methods used in the past, often before the invention of computers and modern encryption techniques. Encryption, the process of converting plaintext into ciphertext to protect it from unauthorized access. Caesar cipher, a substitution cipher used by Julius Caesar in which each letter in the plaintext is shifted a certain number of positions down the alphabet. Air circulation, the movement of air within a space to regulate temperature and maintain air quality. Data center, a facility used to store, manage, and process large amounts of data and computer systems. Cold aisle, a space between rows of server racks in a data center where cool air is delivered to the front of the equipment. Hot aisle, a space between rows of server racks in a data center where hot air is exhausted from the back of the equipment. Server, a computer program or device that provides data or services to other computers or devices on a network. Smoke detectors, devices that detect smoke in the air and emit an alarm to alert occupants of a potential fire. Photoelectric, a type of smoke detector that uses a light source and a sensor to detect smoke particles in the air. Substitution, a method of encryption in which each letter or character in the plain text is replaced with another letter or character. Cell phone, a mobile device used for making calls, sending messages, and accessing the Internet. Centralized management system, a system used to manage and control multiple devices from a central location. MDM, mobile device management, a type of centralized management system used to manage and secure mobile devices. Frequency analysis, a technique used to analyze encrypted text by identifying patterns in the frequency of characters or groups of characters. Encrypted text, text that has been converted from plain text to ciphertext using an encryption algorithm. VM, virtual machine, a software-based emulation of a physical computer system that runs an operating system and applications. Hypervisor, a layer of software that enables virtualization by controlling access between virtual machines and the host hardware. Type 1 hypervisor, a hypervisor that runs directly on the host hardware, as opposed to running on top of an operating system.